Welcome back. Still plenty to do in Washington, D.C. before the holiday break, with key votes on issues like defense spending and health care subsidies in coming days.
And we are pleased to be joined by Oklahoma's senior senator in Washington, D.C., James Lankford, joining us live here at 4 o'clock. First of all, Senator, can you hear us all right?
I can hear you just perfectly.
All right, that's wonderful. Thanks so much. I do want to start with the issue of extending these ACA health insurance subsidies. A lot of stories here. In fact, we just ran one, Senator, where Chuck Schumer said Republican senators are so divided on this issue of health care that they do not have a plan. Are Republican senators divided on this? And where do you stand on extending these subsidies?
Yeah, we are not divided on this. That's interesting political drama from Senator Schumer on this, but Republicans actually have a proposal that's coming out on Thursday. We have had, this is very straightforward. We just have a very different opinion on this. Democrats want to just send checks to insurance companies and say to insurance companies, try to bring down rates. We're trying to get dollars actually to the people that need it and allow them to have greater control over their health care spending. It's a very different issue. Democrats want to make sure that abortions are paid for with those tax dollars as well. We've said, no, we don't think that's a good idea. None of the rest of our healthcare systems actually pay for abortions, not VA systems, not Medicare, not Medicaid, not Indian Health Services. We don't pay for abortions on anything else. They want to try to make sure that abortions are paid for, and they've interjected that issue. So this has been a frustrating conversation, to be able to say the least. Caught up in it are several thousand Oklahomans that their rates are going to go up pretty significantly next year because these Obamacare additional subsidies are going away. Now, this is not Obamacare going away. These are subsidies that were put on top of Obamacare. That's the actual argument at this point.
So, Senator, what do you say to those Oklahoma families who have very real concerns right now that their premiums are going to spike and maybe they can't afford that? What do you say to them? Can you ease their concerns?
Yeah, let me clearly define this out as well. This is not most Oklahomans by far. Most Oklahomans are not in Obamacare. So if you're Medicare, Medicaid, if you get commercial insurance through your employer, if all those other insurances are there, that's the vast majority of Oklahomans. They're completely unaffected by this. If your insurance rates are going up, it's not because of this. This is a much smaller group, mainly folks that are between 55 and 64 years old that are also on Obamacare that also make more than 400% of poverty. So it's a much smaller group. So Democrats keep trying to say if your insurance rates are going up, it's all affected by this. That's not true. This is a very select group of people that make above 400% of poverty that are also on Obamacare subsidies. We are trying to be able to find a solution to be able to help them get to it. But again, we're not trying to be able to just subsidize the insurance company. We're trying to be able to actually get them to be able to get a bridge to be able to get through this. But right now, we've not been able to get a consensus with our Democratic colleagues on it. But there's been active conversations the whole way through it. But again, the vast majority of Oklahomans are unaffected by all this because Democrats are really fighting for that one small select group.
Well, Senator, we know, of course, that was an issue that really was a big problem with the last government shutdown. And when you finally made a deal, that only lasted until the end of January. And so here we are about, 6 weeks away from potentially looking that cliff in the face once again. So is there progress being made right now to keep that from happening again? What do you think the biggest hurdle is right now with keeping the government open in 6 weeks?
Yeah, the biggest hurdle for us is to finish up what's called the appropriation bills to be able to get those done. We've actually had those ready out of committee, working to be able to get those onto the floor and to be able to get those through the conference process. So this is the nature of dealing with 100 people that all are pretty stubborn folks like myself, that we're trying to be able to work through the process to be able to actually get to broad agreement on it. But yes, everybody keenly sees January 30th, the next deadline. The other aspect of this, you and I have talked about before, I actually have a bill that has wide bipartisan support that ends government shutdowns forever. I think that's the best option we can have, is to say this should never be an issue in America that we have government shutdowns. Let's argue over the budget, but not have to argue about whether we're going to pay federal workers or whether we're going to have a shutdown that people can't contact a federal office and get an answer. That should always be true on it, but we should have the argument, but not have it with a government shutdown.
If there was ever a time to, get momentum for a bill like that, it would be after the longest shutdown in history. Is there more momentum behind your bill there?
There is actually. So we've had very broad support for it. Some of our Democratic colleagues are saying they're willing to be able to sign on to that after we get past January the 30th. They still want to be able to have the leverage to say we could shut down the government again if we choose to. My focus is that we should take this off the table forever. A lot of families were hurt in that last shutdown. We should not have had that, and my Democratic colleagues on it that said, hey, healthcare is so important, we should shut the government down on. I would say those 2 million plus federal workers and their families had nothing to do on this whole argument. We shouldn't actually use them as leverage in a conversation. Again, we have disagreements as a nation. That's who we are as a country. We have 320 million people that we don't all think alike. Okay, let's get together and let's work it out, but let's hold harmless people in the process.
Senator, we have a little bit of time here. If you could get to the defense spending bill now, do you expect, as Congress is set to consider that this week, any changes that could impact us here in Oklahoma, our military bases or military jobs? And what are your biggest takeaways from the bill?
Yeah, so several things. This is something we've literally worked on for the entire year through my office. And yes, it's a very significant set of wins for Oklahoma, not just for Oklahoma, but for national security as a whole. For instance, Oklahoma, and especially folks in Oklahoma City, are used to seeing the E-3 aircraft. That's the aircraft with the big disc on top of it that's so incredibly important to our national security. The next version of that is the E-7. We were able to secure the funding for that and to be able to maintain the basing at Tinker. That's been a very, very significant process. We changed some of the rules in hiring at Tinker to allow them to be able to hire faster and to be able to go through that process. We have thousands of civilian workers that work at Tinker. It is the single largest employer that we have in the entire area, and it's very important that their hiring process goes better. It's something I've worked on for a long time with the leadership there, that we've made significant changes on that will be a great help to the efficiency of the work that's at Tinker and for our national security. But there's a lot of other issues we work with on the 45th, for Lawton, for Enid. We've done a lot of work on the national security side of it that we've been able to secure. That bill will be in the House of Representatives in the next 48 hours. When they pass it, it will come over to the Senate, but we've already pre-negotiated these issues, so it looks very good about that passing in the next week.
Senator James Lankford, we appreciate the time. Thanks very much.